Hi, thanks for watching this video. My name is Nicole Cook, and this is a redo of the presentation that I have already given. I was able to meet with a mom's group last week and provide this education to 8 women in the group, and we were able to go over the PowerPoint and I was able to answer questions about the topic, and it was just a great experience. So I'm just going to go through the presentation again here with those with that audience in mind. So, hello everyone. My name is Nicole Cook, and I'm going to be providing a informational session about lice and scabies. Basically, all you need to know about lice and scabies here today. So the goals and objectives for this presentation is basically so you can understand lice and scabies more or better, and so that you're able to recognize the symptoms of each, what to look for, how to treat them, how to prevent them, because having young children, we're all faced with coming into interactions with these types of infestations and ways that we can hopefully prevent it. And if it does arise, we can treat it quickly. We'll be able to know what to do if that time comes. So what are they? They are parasites that live in or on a human. So it's kind of gross and it sounds nasty, but they are very, very common. They're both small parasites that they look pretty similar, as you can see. Lice here kind of has a white look to it, but scabies does as well. However, you can't really see scabies. So they burrow more into the skin where lice stay on top of the skin. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's interesting that they do kind of look similar, and they're both frequently confused with each other as far as the public goes. Sort of any little bug that causes similar symptoms, everyone sort of clumps it together. So they can cause itching and discomfort to the person. And we'll talk about signs and symptoms of each. So I just kind of wanted to start off with lice, and this I found online when I was doing my research for this presentation, and I just thought it was kind of funny. So the 5 myths about head lice, which I'm sure all of you have heard and maybe even believe. Poor hygiene causes head lice. So that is completely untrue. It has nothing to do with hygiene. They're parasites. So, if you are exposed to the parasite, then you will get lice. And another myth is that pets can cause lice to spread. So that is not true. You cannot get lice from your pets or anything like that. It's not. They do not feed off of pets. Lice can jump from person to person. That is absolutely not true. But a lot of people think that. I've seen, children with lice and their parents, family members, friends are like, because of the way that our society sort of views insects and these types of infestations, people get very scared and they don't want it to get into their home. And it is a hassle a lot of the times, but just the treatment and, all that it takes. But lice cannot jump from person to person. So you are safe being next to someone with lice. They're not going to jump over and get you. Going swimming will kill head lice. That's another myth. No, that is incorrect as well. Swimming has nothing to do with the lice. They will stay on there. They've got a pretty good grip on the hair, and they're not going anywhere in swimming wise. And then the best way to get rid of lice is to shave your head. That's a little extreme, but no, because they can live on other areas of your body that have hair. So, which most of our bodies are pretty much covered in hair. So, shaving your head is not going to get rid of lice. But I enjoyed myth, this little myth um, handout, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, talking a little bit more about lice. Female adult lice, they lay up to 6 eggs every day, and they're always into the hair. So if you can kind of look over here, they start as eggs on the hair follicle. Then they grow in 3 spurts as nymphs, and then they reach their adult size. And they're almost like a sesame seed. Most people have either come in contact with someone with lice or seen pictures of it. A lot of times when you have school age kids, there'll be education sent home about it, things like that. So they are usually white, tan, sometimes brown, but frequently they are white. And they feed off the blood by biting into the skin. So they live on the hair shafts and they bite the skin to feed off of. That's why they are considered a parasite. So there's 3 different types of lice: body lice, head lice, and pubic lice. So it's spread by direct contact with someone who has lice or from their clothing. So they won't jump across onto you, but if you're in direct contact with someone with lice, you could contract it. School age children, it's very common with, and as well as people living in crowded living conditions. So don't share hats, caps, anything that's going to go, where the lice are, because it's potential to spread to you. And did you know that the CDC estimates up to 12 million lice infestations per year? That's a lot. That's a lot of infestations. And I know when I gave the presentation, everyone was in shock about that. But it's very, very common, and that's why the schools have sort of taken it on as a part of a screening tool to be able to kind of get in with all the kids and check, because it's pretty quick to just kind of sift through someone's hair and make sure that they don't have lice. So it's pretty easy to kind of see what's going on and make sure to prevent it. So the treatment of lice is kind of what I just talked about. Once you see that there are lice within the hair follicles somewhere, usually on the scalp because they're pretty hidden. I think if you have something crawling around on you, you're gonna see it a little bit easier than in your hair. But the 3 steps basically are to kill the lice, remove the eggs, and decontaminate any affected areas, as well as clothing. So it's pretty important. You want to treat it, but you also want to prevent it from, continuing or coming back. So you're going to use over-the-counter shampoo and a knit comb. That's commonly what you use to get it out of the hair on the scalp. You're going to remove the eggs, and then you're going to vacuum all areas where the hairs may have fallen. So with this, they are going to probably stay on the hair follicles because that's what they sort of cling to. So you're going to want to vacuum up everywhere that the person has been, and wash all clothing, bedding in super hot water. That's important. And if it doesn't work within a couple of days, you're going to want to contact your doctor, as it may require prescription products to really treat it and get rid of it. Other members of your family don't need to have the treatment unless they notice any lice within, on their body. So now we have scabies. This is a little bit more in depth, I guess you could say, because it's a little bit more creepy crawly. So they're called the human itch mite. That's kind of another name for it. They're an 8-legged bug, and it's very, very small. So you won't really see them on the skin, especially if they have not gotten a lot of blood yet. So they burrow into the skin, and then it causes extreme itching, and even itching so much as getting sores from it. It can spread from direct contact or indirect contact. So if if you're using a blanket and then you leave it, and then someone else picks it up, and that's a way that that the scabies can travel. They can stay without a blood source for up to 3 to 4 days. So they can live a good amount of time without being on the human. As you can see in the pictures here, the mites burrow under the skin and they lay eggs while they're under there. So who gets scabies frequently? Anyone. Anyone can get scabies. It doesn't matter if you're, the cleanest person or you're not clean. Like I said, they can live without the blood source for a while, so anybody is really at risk for it. But most commonly, children, young adults, residents in nursing homes, or crowded areas of living. And then those with weakened immune systems are also at risk for scabies. They can spread even without symptoms. You won't even be having symptoms because sometimes they take up to 2 to 6 weeks to start. And it can already be spread onto multiple other people who they have come into contact with, or who have come into contact with some sort of clothing that they were using. So anyone can get it. So treating scabies, you're going to want to treat the person and everyone that they have come in contact with. All family members living in the same house, even if you do not have any itching or anything, everyone's going to get treated because you can't see them. They can stay on your skin. You don't even know it. And so everyone's going to get treated. You're going to use topical cream. It's prescribed by a doctor. It's prescription strength. So you're going to use it for up to about 4 weeks because we want to really make sure that they are killed off. You may need antibiotics as well if you have the sores on your skin and you break them open. You may need antibiotics to help treat the infection that's going on as well. You're going to need to wash all clothing, bedding, towels, everything in the home, all linen products, and then vacuuming everywhere. Every part of your home, you're going to need to vacuum. And there's no need to treat pets as they don't carry it as well. I thought this was a little funny picture. Everyone got a kick out of that. So it's just kind of funny that they feed off of everywhere. They do like to go in between your fingers and between your toes. And that itches and it's just no fun. So basically, if you can kind of see the comparison between the two, you're going to have to really kind of wash everything, clean everything, and just be careful. So basic ways to prevent all of this is by just being aware and, talking to your kids, making sure, looking through the kids' hair and making sure that, they're not itching. And if it is a rash, to just get in and make sure that you're seeing the doctor as soon as possible and then just treating as needed. Here are the references that were used, and I appreciate your time, and I thank you for watching this, and I hope that you learned a little bit about lice and scabies. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now. And again, thank you for viewing this presentation, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.